What's going on, guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mafex Spider-Man Ben Reilly comic version. Let's jump right into it. And here we have our Ben Reilly Spider-Man, and I really like this suit design. It's just so cool and iconic and totally different from Peter's, and it is executed in figure form perfectly in my opinion. So jumping into articulation, our guy can look upwards and down no problem. He's got all of that crazy head and neck rotation that you come to love from these Spider-Man figures, broken neck and all. Arms can move upwards easily. Got that nice butterfly joint. Cross those arms for swinging. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. Hands are on those pegs. The web shooters are sculpted and look great. He will have a ball peg at the chest and one as well as the waist itself, allowing him to dip back so much as well as forward, side to side, looking good. Legs can kick forward and backward, no problem. Thigh cut as well as some drop down, double jointed knees, ankle rocker, and toe hinge. And the overall colors on this suit really do pop. The reds are nice and bright. The line work with the webbing really stands out. It does have a little bit of bleeding along the eyes of the mask and some right here where the ribs are. The blues have some nice dark shading as well. I like the color separation down here where the red is. Super cool. In regards to accessories, I'm going to pop off this head sculpt first to get a closer look. It is just like Peter's, so you're going to have the first masked up one. Big eyes, crispy whites on him, looking good. Put this right back, stand you up. The second head sculpt will be the squinty eye one, right here. And lastly, you get an unmasked Ben Reilly head sculpt. Yellows for the hair, the blonde looking good, eyes. You have that different neck as well with the skin coming out of there. And I also want to bring in the Peter one, which in its own does look, on its own it does look good, but if you compare it to Ben's, like Peter just got like a yellow skin tone and it just looks a little off-putting. The details on it don't look as good when you're comparing it directly, but it's still great. So there's that. We also have the separate mask, which is bigger than the one that Peter brings as well, for good reason. So here is Peter's. Now the one for Ben actually has a little hole that you can use one of the pairs of hands that he has to actually look like he's holding the mask, which Peter did not include that. So that is a nice addition to this particular figure. So speaking of hands, he will have, of course, the fists right out of the package. He will also have a pair of open splayed hands right here, all of which carry those nice details with the different colored fingers, blues and reds. You will also have the pair that I was mentioning right here with the little port for the mask on him to hold it. A pair of thwippers. Relaxed hands. Web swinging hands. And the magnetic pair right here as well. And a pair of the magnetic feet to swap out. He also has 3 pairs of webs. You have the standard short one, the longer shooting one as well, and lastly, a pair of swinging webs. So all of that is included in the package. For a size comparison, the first thing that I want to bring in is a classic, being the Marvel Legends from way back when. Now, this used to be one of my favorite figures as well when I used to heavily collect Marvel Legends, but the Mafex definitely superior. Articulation-wise and colors, like it's a banger figure. So I'm gonna scooch him out the way. I also want to bring in the classic Peter, the OG comic style. Come on, Ben, just stay put. As well as the reissue with the different paintwork. All three of these look amazing, and I do like all of them in their own way, but I gotta say the line work on this guy is very reminiscent of this one over here, as well as colors, the way he feels. This guy is definitely older, so he is looser, and it could just be that the line work has faded, but this guy's got a crispy. So with that, let's finish up. So the Mafex Ben Reilly Spider-Man figure may be just another Spider-Man, but he is awesome in his own right. I mean, the overall suit design is completely different from Peter's, so it's just really fun to mess around with the two of them in photos and what have you. It's got some nice bright reds. Line work with the webs in those reds is looking great. The blues have some nice shading as well. He has the unmasked head sculpt as well as the mask that he can hold, which Peter's could not do. So overall, this figure is solid, and I do recommend to add him to your Spider-Man collection today if you already haven't. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. You can check out my Instagram at gojiboy93. We're going to find photos of this guy as well as many other Mafex figures in my collection. Until next time, guys, peace.